What is up, everybody? It is Aaron and Ray back again with another episode of Franchise Tag Fantasy Football Podcast. I wanted to sit in silence for just a second and let people just stare at you being stupid. That's what I wanted.
Sort of rude.
That is what I wanted. Hey, guys. So, as always, please, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. If you could, right now, just go ahead, click the subscribe button. It really, really helps us out. And we really, really appreciate you guys.
If you guys notice you're the 1,000th subscriber, just throwing it out there. If you guys notice, put that in the comments. Let us know. I'll send you a shirt, man. This is such a big milestone, and I appreciate everybody that's already helped us get there. And I appreciate you guys for hitting that subscribe.
Listen, if it was financially feasible for me to send out 1,000 t-shirts, I would. But
you see,
the
way that my pocketbook looks.
I'm a little stretched thin. I should be having a baby sometime within the next week, so all the money's going to that thing.
Yeah, that's that thing, that creature of the night. Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron, I have a couple things that I want to bring up before we get started. This is just a quick question. I heard it earlier today on a different podcast. It's not that kind of question. We're not doing that right now. That's on the off-season kind of stuff, okay? It's off-season content. It's off-season content.
Fine.
So look, Dak is going to be playing against Houston, right?
I heard this exact same thing too. We'll discuss it, but I want you to know I already switched.
Okay, because I wanted to know how you felt, and I think this is pertinent. I think people are going to really be wanting to know, and I think we should talk about it in front of the show.
That's
and
fine.
then talk about it again later on as
That's
well.
fine. These guys did bring up a good point when we listened to them, though.
Yeah, and I think they also brought up a good point against Lamar that I also echoed a few last episode we talked about. But anyways, Dak is playing against Houston, right? Houston has only given up 2 touchdowns against any quarterback twice this season. So
2 touchdowns in the same game.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns
passing
in the same game.
touchdowns.
Yes, passing touchdowns in the same game. Now, do I think that Dak is just like not going to have a good game? I mean, obviously he could. He's got the offense to do it, right? But that offense is set up to run. That's what that offense is predicated to do. And Houston is going to be out of this game in 6 minutes of actual football time.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably fair. So there's a good chance that Dak gets benched halfway through the game. There's a good chance. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Now, I don't think that I would sit CeeDee Lamb. I don't think that I'm sitting Dalton Schultz. I'm definitely sitting Michael Gallup. But the point being is, if you had, let's say, a Kirk Cousins or Dak, who are you going to start this week?
Kirk Cousins
against Detroit. How about Jared Goff?
I actively went and got Jared Goff out of free agency because waivers ran, but to play over Dak for this exact situation. Jared Goff has been good. He has his full offense back now. They are playing Minnesota. That game I predict will be a shootout. They're playing in Detroit, and games in Detroit average 63 points this year.
It's definitely concerning. And I think that going into the playoffs, if you need to have points this week, you're projected to get your ass whooped. I think that it's the move to move away from Dak. I understand Dak has been solid, and I think that he's viable for 15 to 20 points this week, but I don't see no quarterback is blown up against Houston. It's because they don't have to throw. Houston's offense puts the other team in scoring position every time that they're on the field. They're awful. They're pathetic.
Yeah.
Now, I think that they moved away from Kyle Allen, so that's probably a step up, but that's a minute step up. It's a very baby step up. So definitely something to talk about, definitely something to monitor, but I would move away from Dak this week.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. And Dak plays Philadelphia inside of the fantasy playoffs as well. I think it's week 16. So semifinals week.
I'd be more interested in starting Dak in that game because they're going to have to throw.
Oh, no, I agree.
Yeah, Dak is going to be needed. But in this week against Houston, man, Tony Pollard and Zeke.
Yeah, don't hear what we're not saying either. It's not that Houston's passing defense is great. It's that no one has to pass on Houston, so they don't.
The only team that's had to pass on him was Deshaun Watson. And he soon did not have to pass on them anymore.
Yeah.
Because they gave him the game.
It's ridiculous. I think Herbert had 20 points and someone else had over 20 points, but
Tua.
That was it. Oh, well.
Yeah. and that's it. And then Tua
So-
got benched in like the third quarter in that game too. So it was just
So.
Tyreek, Jalen, bench.
Oh, you
So-
mean the typical combination of ways they score points?
Yeah, just slants, hitches, and touchdowns. So there's that. Let's get into the news today, Aaron.
Let's do it, buddy.
This is news as of Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, human standard time or Pacific Standard Time, whichever one you want to call it. But I just
so
wanted to-
you're looking, guys, at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. But yeah, that's how it happens. How do you want to preface this news?
How dare you? All right, so let's start it off. I think we're a little long in the tooth, so let's hurry the hell up.
And
As I was so briefly interrupted, Aaron, I don't know where I
Sorry.
even left off when I was talking.
you were talking about how California time's better than anything else, and you're about to tell us about the news because we were long in the tooth. So don't make it longer.
You're right. DeAndre Swift limited in practice today, Wednesday. I do not think that I care. I think he's going to be limited for the rest of the season. Who cares? He's supplanted any sort of fear of starting him. He is a must start every week. Cortland Sutton dealing with a hamstring injury. If you have the balls to put in any Broncos weapon at all for the rest of the season, bruh. You
Jerry
have
Jeudy might be making my lineup.
this week is tough because there's 6 teams on bye, but God,
This
damn
week they also play the Chiefs.
it is true they're going to have to score, but you're not starting Cortland Sutton. Even if he was healthy, you're not doing it. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy might be a fine start. Odell news. Odell watch. Cowboys are really
I'm over Odell watch already.
all right. They're
I'm
shy on
serious.
they're shy on making him an offer. They think that ACL isn't all the way healed.
Heard
It's
a great
kind of hard
point
to say,
today.
right?
Heard a great point today. Do you think, because he obviously visited the Giants and the Bills, right?
Mhm.
No news came out about anything. You didn't hear shit about OBJ visiting these places other than that he had visits with them. He visits the Cowboys, and it's like the freaking old ladies at church are just telling everyone's gossip.
I think it's probably because Jerry Jones just
I think it's Jerry
I-
Jones and him and his camp leaking
Yeah.
information to try to get a better deal on OBJ than what he wants.
that
And
could
I
be
heard
it.
that today, and that was brought up to me, and I was like, I'm fully on board with this. Say no more.
Little gamemanship. Look, one thing Jerry Jones knows how to do is make money and get money. So there's that. You know, you can't deny that he doesn't. He's like-
Dude makes more money on his concession stands than most teams do, like with ticket sales.
Imagine if there wasn't a salary cap. Jerry Jones would be just going buck wild, and it
The
wouldn't matter.
Cowboys would be winning Super Bowls, which would be stupid, but
Wait till his massage receipts come out. Wait till that happens. Mahomes not affected by a bruised foot from week 13. He's going to play. You're going to play him, and you're not going to be worried about it. Mark Ingram likely done for the year with an MCL injury, yet he continued to get in the game.
listen,
What?
we were in the same boat, man. I have Kamara in one league, you have him in two, I think, and it's just why.
I needed
Why?
10. Aaron, I needed 10 goddamn points to beat you. I needed 10 from 2 players, and I didn't get it because Kamara sucks.
I don't
Doctor-
think it's Kamara sucks. I think it's the Saints are just trash. And can we talk about Taysom Hill for a minute? I'm tired of seeing his dumb, smug face on the football field. Get him the fuck off.
Don't get it. Don't
I'm
get
tired
it.
of it.
It's like, okay, look. I get it. I understand you paying him money. That makes sense. And you got to get your money out of him, right? Sure. But God damn it, you have Chris Olave as a budding, legitimate NFL star, and you have Alvin Kamara in the backfield.
Dude can
And
literally score 6 touchdowns in a game anytime that he wants.
Oh, I know. Especially if he plays me in a meaningful game, you can guarantee it's certified. It has a green check mark next to it because that's my certification
Ooh.
that he will go off for 6 touchdowns and put my season to rest. But
Uh-huh.
it's not here nor there. It just doesn't make sense. I hate it. Can Taysom Hill just stop being a thing, please? For the love of God.
I wish. If I were to tell you before the season started that Alvin Kamara was a back of the first middle of the second round running back pick in drafts, and he was only going to score one rushing touchdown. Would you believe me?
No, because I have him on 2 separate teams, and it's killing me in 2 separate leagues because he sucked.
Yep.
Also with Derrick Henry in one of them, it's crazy. Imagine.
It's crazy that he has 3 total touchdowns on the season, and all 3 of his touchdowns came in the same game
against me, and you beat me that game.
Yeah, probably.
Wild. Doctors conclude today that Jimmy G does not need surgery. It is not a Liz Frank injury, and if rehab goes smoothly, he could have a chance to return in 7 to 8 weeks. Doesn't mean jack shit for the fantasy season because that'll be in the playoffs when they make it. But maybe they don't go back to him. Let's see what Purdy does. What if Purdy goes off, right?
Who knows?
Rams officially claim Baker Mayfield. I don't know if we covered that last episode or not. I understand nobody really cares. There's a good chance
he plays tomorrow.
Not necessarily tomorrow. This is going to be a little Christmas treat. There's a good chance we get to see Russell Wilson versus Baker Mayfield on Christmas because they play on Christmas. Just a little stocking stuffer for you guys.
The NFL. Oh, Christmas is on Sunday this year.
Correct, Mundo.
The NFL. They can't flex that game. Can they just call it a tie and both teams be on their way? Better than what they've been doing. A tie is better than a loss.
Can they just get a loss and no one has to watch it? But there's a good chance, very good chance, because I think Baker is slightly better than Wolford.
I don't know, because he got benched for PJ Walker.
That's tough, right? That's tough. Baker sucks. And you know what? How can you suck that bad? It's crazy.
He just better hope that he didn't blow all of his rookie contract money, because he's probably not going to make anything close to that ever again.
He'll be a backup for a while. Ken Walker battling an ankle injury. Seahawks are signing veteran running back Wayne Gallman. Now, every running back out there, every running back they've got in Seattle is hurt right now. Do you pick up Wayne Gallman?
Yeah.
Do you do it if you're in? Look, Wayne Gallman has shown that he can at least get you.
If you're the Kenneth Walker owner and you need someone else, then yes. We talked about it. Yes, not yesterday, 2 days ago, right?
Yeah. I think DJ Dallas was what Ruben had brought up.
Yeah, but he's hurt too.
Yeah, he's hurt too. And so is that other Jones dude. I can't remember his name. But because you're talking about 3rd and 4th string running backs. Look, I don't know the depth chart of Seattle that well. But Wayne Gallman, if you're in a desperate pinch, maybe. Probably not, but maybe. I don't know. Keep rolling down. Lamar Jackson has a PCL sprain. This is one I just want to get to real fast. I heard it again on a similar show. It's crazy. I bet you heard the same thing. Would you cut Lamar Jackson?
For redraft formats, more than likely, because it's a 2-week injury at a minimum.
So are you now agreeing with what I had said earlier with I'm going to go with a better matchup over Lamar Jackson?
If you don't have an IR spot, yes. If you do have an IR spot, no.
Okay.
If you are in the playoffs, you have to find a new quarterback anyways. But that first week he comes back, if it is during fantasy playoffs, you do not play him. You leave him on your bench and you take a better matchup. If it's back to the old Lamar where he's healthy and can run, then yes, I play him going forward.
However, I just don't. It scares me so bad because of how poor his production has been. And it's not because of him. I don't think it's Lamar's problem. I don't think so. Because you put any other quarterback in that same offense with Deshaun Jackson's ghost, Demarcus Robinson, like you have nobody.
I mean, you could make the case for look at what the caliber of receivers Aaron Rodgers had at the beginning of the year when they weren't doing well. It's the same caliber that he has now.
True.
Or Lamar has, you know what I mean? They're middle of the pack, no-name guys that majority of the times the ball hits them and drops them in their hands. Or ball hits them in their hands and they drop it. Wow, that was definitely messed up English.
Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson in the playoffs?
In the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay's schedule opens up in the playoffs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably neither. Probably find a different option.
I'd probably go with Aaron Rodgers because of what Christian Watson's doing right now.
The Rams, Miami, Minnesota. What'd you say?
You can't next week because they're on a bye. Mike White to start for the Jets, but
We talked
there
about
was
that already.
there was a caveat in there that I didn't see. Is it Saleh said that Zach Wilson will play again this season? Now, does that mean that he will suit up? Or does that mean that he will actually see the field? There's no goddamn way that Zach Wilson sees the field for us this season, right? There's no way.
Can't not.
But there is a way. There is a way. Because the NFL hates fantasy football. And I think that's it for the news. Anything else for the greater good there, Aaron?
The greater good I would like to talk about, since we brought up Lamar Jackson. It's happened with Mike Williams from the Chargers. Why on earth do fantasy platforms continuously put people in the out status so they're IR eligible, and then Tuesday rolls around and they make them questionable when they know that it's a multi-week injury? Why? Why?
Hey sleeper, if you're still listening, I know that you were
just
checking,
messing everything up for
I know
everybody
that
else.
I know you were paying attention earlier. You were listening to us. Let's listen again. Can we please change that? Can somebody hire me? I'll do it. You just pay me a moderate salary, and I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
They asked for
for
feedback
money.
they asked for user feedback on Twitter, and that was one of them from a lot of people. Was like,
Maybe,
quit changing injury tags or change injury tags quicker.
or maybe just maybe the hashtag should then be just hire Ray.
It was also I saw one which was a good idea. Don't, because in sleeper, if you have someone ineligible in the IR slot, you can't move anybody until you take care of that, right? You can't set your lineup, can't do anything.
Mhm.
Make it where you can't do transactions, like from free agency and waiver wire. I understand that, but make it where you can set your damn lineup. Like Lamar is in IR for me in our Superflex league, right? But I can't put Dak into my lineup because Lamar's still in the IR spot, but I know Lamar's going to be out for at least 2 weeks, but he's got the questionable tag, so I can't set my lineup until the officially rule him out again. So it's just one of those things. I'm on my high horse again.
You off of it now?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, good. Sleeper, just pay attention. That's all I have for the news. What else you got, Aaron? Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, let's hit a word from our sponsors, and then we'll jump into the starts or the previews.
Hey everyone, this show is brought to you by Driffles Jerky. Are you like us and love beef jerky, but hate paying those high prices for subpar meat? Well, at DrifflesJerky.com, they have the money meat.
You said the money meat?
That's right, the money meat. Great tasting beef jerky made from top quality cuts of beef at great prices. Use promo code franchise tag to get yourself 10% off on your order today.
That's DRIFFILLS jerky.com. All right, everybody, we are back. That was great. Perfect timing. Anyways, are we ready to jump into these starts sits?
Did that burp make it on the show?
Maybe.
This is a classy event, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe it might have. All right, Ray. I'm pretty sure we're in the same order now. Somehow the DraftKings hurt us. Like, oh, we got to fix it for these guys. So
I don't get how it messed up in the first place.
I think it was user error on your part.
I literally shared my screen with you. It makes no sense, right? It makes no sense.
Huh?
Anyways, what do we got first, Aaron?
Up first, we have the barn burner of a Thursday night Amazon Prime Video matchup on Amazon Prime. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Rams. This game's over-under is 43.5 points, and the Raiders are favored by 6.5.
For the Raiders side of the ball. It is
Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and Derek Carr's a streaming candidate.
How about Foster Moreau?
Yeah, you can play him.
Okay. What do you think about, in most leagues, I bet Darren Waller was cut. I bet he was dropped, especially in leagues that didn't have an IR spot. What do you feel about picking him up for a fantasy push? Because they're saying he's close to coming back. What do you feel about that?
Sure. Go for it.
Because tight ends suck, and
if that's what you want to do, take a risk. I mean, he can't be any worse than what's out there.
Last week, Noah Fant was the second overall tight end with 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. That will tell you the landscape of tight ends.
Who finished 1?
Finished 2. Taysom Hill finished 1.
Oh, that's so stupid. I hate that guy.
I hate the fact that he's listed as a tight end. On the Rams side of the ball, I am willing to start Tyler
Listening.
Higbee, Cam Akers. Yeah, Cam
Listening.
Akers. I think Cam Akers. I think is a good start. I think he is. He's getting enough work, especially with 6 teams on bye. He's good enough to put in your lineup this week, right? I mean, you don't have Aaron Jones this week. You don't have Aaron Jones this week, so you can put Cam Akers in.
You don't have the Commanders either, so you don't have Brian Robinson's, Antonio Gibson.
Those guys. Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
Not my start of the week. No thanks. Outside of that, nothing else, right?
Nope.
Good.
Nothing.
Let's move on.
Vegas wins this game.
I got Vegas winning this game too, unfortunately.
Cool.
Even though I don't think they're a very good football team.
Not at all.
I think the Rams are worse.
Vegas played the Chargers last week. Ruben talked about how he's got the Raiders winning. I switched my pick, and you know what it did? It won me the pick'ems.
I was steamboating my way to first place, and then all of a sudden I ran out of coal. I ran out of coal, and I was in a steamboat. That you see how that doesn't make any sense? Crazy. Neither does what happened last week. I should have won the pick'em. That's what it should have been. So here's that.
No.
Yes.
I finished with 12 out of the 15 games correct. Next closest person finished with 11.
I finished with 9 of them correct. I don't give a shit. I should have won.
Well, we'll see. Anyways, yeah, I'm still waiting to get paid out from that. I'm assuming people haven't paid him for the week, so.
Gotta text him. I'll text him right now after we're done. So,
Tell him
next
to pay
game on
me.
the docket. Next game on the docket, New York Jets against the Buffalo Football Bills. It is a 43.5 point over under, and the Bills are projected to beat the Jets by 9.5. Like, what in the world?
If I were to bet on this game, I would bet on the Jets spread. I don't expect the Jets to win, but I expect them to cover the 9.5 points.
9.5 is a lot, especially for a team that's looked pretty competent.
And especially for a team in the Buffalo Bills that seem to miraculously have these double-digit or close to double-digit point spreads and always play down to their competition.
Yeah. I could see this being an upset. I could
too.
I could. The Jets defense is good enough. I think I could see it being an upset. This is going to be a good matchup between Sauce Gardner and Stephon Diggs. But on the Jets side of the ball,
Fire up your Gabe Davis, baby.
On the
Garrett
Jets
Wilson
side of the ball,
has to be played.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be played. And the Buffalo Bills run defense, Michael Carter is now no longer listed as questionable and is a full participant in practice. Buffalo's run defense doesn't scare me anymore. They've shown that they're susceptible to being ran on.
Michael Carter could potentially be my start of the week.
Yeah. So I was waiting for him to get his questionable tag removed. I am probably going to put him into our main lineup, I do believe. I forget what league I have him in, but I am probably going to play him this week. So I'm starting Michael Carter. I'm starting Garrett Wilson. Corey Davis is in flex consideration for me just because I do expect this game to be back and forth and taking what the defense gives. You could potentially, to your point, stream Mike White if you wanted to.
I'm absolutely streaming Mike White this week. Absolutely.
But that's one of those things that you might get caught with your pants down.
I'm willing to take that bet. I'm willing to take that risk. I believe in the offensive weapons that the Jets have and the lackluster defense that the Bills provides. I do believe that Mike White gives you enough points to be viable this week, especially with a lot of bye weeks happening right now. So
yeah, that is fair. And then on the Bills side of the ball, obviously you're starting Josh Allen.
Not a whole lot of surprises here. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is a better start this week than what most people think.
Last time they played, though, Sauce Gardner covered Gabe Davis quite a bit.
I think that gets moved.
Just because Diggs torched him so much last time.
I think that they need to match that up. And look, if I'm Sauce, I'm asking for Stephon Diggs. I'm saying, hey, I would like a giant fat ass bag of money, and I want things on my resume to earn that money. And if he locks down Stephon Diggs, guess what? You're gonna go and put that right there out of line one, baby.
Yeah, that's fair. He's done it to quite a few corners or receivers already this year. So,
Bigger question: James Cook or Devin Singletary? Are you starting either one of them?
If I had to start one, I would start James Cook.
I would also be very interested in putting James Cook in my lineup. You've seen him more and more involved.
He's for sure gonna be in one of my DFS lineups.
Yeah, and look, I think that what Devin Singletary and James Cook do, they do things well separately. James Cook is a lot more explosive than him. Devin Singletary is a lot better with tacklers around him. So goal line back, I would imagine Devin Singletary is that guy.
It's
James
so weird because he's so small.
It's crazy, right? But James Cook is better in space than he is.
Yeah.
And he's a better receiver. So I would go James Cook in that situation. I think you can get away with starting Devin Singletary, but I'm not interested. He's a flex. Anybody else? Maybe Isaiah McKenzie. What are you thinking about him? Deeper leagues?
Deeper leagues, DFS dart throws. Yeah, he's been on the up and up lately. I know I brought his name up on the waiver wire show. But it is one of those things that you are going to have to know that you're probably going to be holding him.
I think so too. I have a quick one, just a real quick thing. Would you go in a game where I would imagine it's going to be the over of 43 points? Would you go Isaiah McKenzie as the 3 on that offense, but in a much better offense, much better, or Van Jefferson against the Raiders? Now, this is for a deep league. This is for 14 teams. This is for DFS. This is not for a 10-man.
McKenzie over Van Jefferson.
I would do that, but I think that in a DFS, I might want to go Van Jefferson only because he's got the home run hitting ability. I think that's the only reason. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't think that's really pertinent information, but I have the Bills winning this game, but I do think this could be an upset. But I have the Bills winning this game.
Yeah,
I want to go Jets.
I want to go the Jets too so bad.
I can't.
I know I can't bet against Josh Allen at this
Yeah,
point in time.
Not after last week. Not after that Jeter-esque throw that he had a 23-yard seed to Gabe Davis across his body while he's 10 feet in the air.
Floating out of bounds.
Did you see the one, like the 2-yard run that he had where he jumped over his whole line and had to be brought down by 3 dudes while midair? I hate Josh Allen. I hate him.
Why?
Because he's so big and good.
And strong and fast and everything you're not.
He's everything I'm not. He's handsome.
Oh, Ray. You have good hair.
I have better hair than he does, and I have prettier eyes. Eat that.
Okay.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Josh Allen. If you're listening, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I have a better mustache.
I don't know. You haven't seen his. So
You do see his when they zoom in on his face right before he calls the play. It's like real thin and wispy. It looks like yours, kind of, just less thick than yours.
less thick. Well, mine's darker. That's why it looks thick, but it's really not. Well, I just opened up a program I didn't want to open. So,
anyways, yeah, I'll take the Bills in this one too, but that's a flip flop. Ask me tomorrow, and I might say the Jets. Up next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. This is a 47-point over under, and the Bengals are favored by 6. Browns side of the ball, Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb's going to be a tough start. Nick Chubb's going to be a tough start. Deshaun Watson looked just god awful.
That's what happens when you don't play football for 2 years and you come back week 13.
I'm 100% not starting him this week.
No,
There's no
not
way.
at all.
I thought that Donovan Peoples-Jones looks the part. He looks like he could be the guy. But man, no, not until Deshaun Watson looks like he's not a bag of shit. So Amari Cooper, it's an away game.
Jesus. I don't think I'm playing Deshaun Watson or any receiving options out of Cleveland until he proves that he can learn to play football again.
He might not. Just because you paid him $150 million, $200 million doesn't mean he
$230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's ever going to be good again. Yeah, it could have just been a foolish signing like Russ.
It's fair.
I'm willing to only start Nick Chubb in this game. I'm surprised that it's a 6-point spread. I'm surprised it's not like a 10 or 12. I'm surprised. The Bengals look good, really good.
Yeah.
On the Bengals side of the ball, Aaron. Jamar Chase.
You're starting Jamar Chase without question.
T. Higgy.
Yes.
Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Brr.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100% start. Can I make it my start of the week? Can I do that?
if you want?
What?
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't know I could go that high. That's crazy. He's
can
low
go
hanging
s-
fruit.
You can go as high as you want. I don't care anymore.
Oh, just tossed all the cares out in the world, huh? Not even giving a
Okay. Okay, tight ends. If you say Travis Kelce, I might just cut you off. But still,
Travis Kelce's gonna be great.
so
Yeah,
to be fair though, last week he wasn't when we joked about it.
the only damn time in his whole like 3 years of dominance. I'm willing to start Joe Shiesty. I think he's an every week guaranteed
Is that
start.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
Okay. All right.
Mixon if he plays.
He did get. I was just reading that, and that's what I was looking at. He did get a full participant today. Barring any setbacks later this week, he should be fine and to be the primary back again. Week 14 against the Browns. Yes. If
You are-
he-
You are in no way, shape, or form at all allowed to cut Samaje Perine. You are not.
No.
If you
not at
have
all.
him on your roster, he is permanently on your roster to the end of the season.
Yes, I would agree with you.
Mhm.
But yes, you are playing Joe Mixon if he is active.
I think Samaje gets a little more work in there.
I do too, honestly. Just because once you get a concussion once, you can get it again quick.
And Perine looked good. Good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be like a 60-40 split, maybe even higher than that. Who knows? I think that Cincinnati's defense could be a great start this week.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it could be a great start.
I agree
with you. Who you got one in this game?
Cincinnati.
Of course. Moving on.
Let's
This is
not
the game-
even talk about it.
This is a game we were talking about at the beginning of the show. The Houston wannabe football Texans play the Dallas Cowboys in
Ugh.
Dallas. This is a 45.5 point over under. Jesus Christ.
I was waiting for you to see it.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This is a 16.5 point over under. And you know what? I bet Dallas covers.
This is this is disrespectful. You know, and we said that last week at like the 12.5 points against the Colts.
I bet Dallas covers.
I bet you Dallas
I bet they go 16 points in 6 minutes. I bet they do.
Oh my gosh.
You're not
So-
allowed to pick Dallas to start of the week. You're not allowed to. You gotta not pick fruit up off the ground. You gotta go at least touch a tree. Find some grass, Aaron.
Okay.
Loser. I know you're gonna do that.
No, I wasn't.
Anyway. On Houston side of the ball, Dameon Pierce has been limited in practice. I would probably try and find something other than him.
To be fair, they're giving Houston enough credit to say that they're going to score at least 14 points.
They're not.
They won't.
Nope. I would smash the under on that. Smash it.
Oh, yep.
You couldn't put it up fast enough for me not to press no. I think that Dameon Pierce, I would not like to start him this week.
No,
I would
I'm
like
not.
to
You're
find
you're
under-
benching Dameon Pierce.
Yeah. And Nico Collins, I don't give a shit if Brandon Cooks isn't playing. No.
Dallas is projected to score 31 points in this game, so I didn't do
No.
the math. Sorry.
No. You're not starting any piece of this game whatsoever on the Houston side of the ball. On Dallas side of the ball, we talked about-
Yeah, you can start Dak. It's not the end of the world, but temper expectations. Expect anywhere from I would say realistically a 13 to 18 point game.
to
for
give you
Dak.
an idea of where I'm at with Dak right now, if I'm in need 100% of like a 20-point week from a quarterback, I would be willing to start Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Mike White,
Yeah.
and that's probably it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, because Trevor Lawrence he's probably not gonna play, so
Yeah.
that's tough. That's tough. But
So,
anyway,
but I agree. I'm in agreement there. You are starting Zeke and you are starting Pollard. And I think we kind of talked about earlier. You can start Schultz. You can start CD. Cowboys are projected to score 31 points. And yes, they're not necessarily going to just get a first down every time they touch the football. They're still going to get into, their playbooks and throw early. And then sometimes on third downs, it might be 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. They're going to have to throw. So
if you have a DraftKings lineup that you can put in both Zeke and Pollard this week, I would do it. Because those 31 points are probably going to go to them. I would do it.
I think CD probably gets at least one.
Maybe.
First drive of the game.
CDB fine. He'll probably have 10 catches. He'll be fine.
Yep. So I have Dallas winning this game.
Shocker. I think I do too. The next game on the docket, Aaron.
Shocker. The next game on the docket is another great one that we've been talking about. The Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions with a 52.5 point over-under, and the Lions are only favored by 2.5.
I can't believe the Lions are favored. This is the first time this season the Lions have been favored in a game.
No.
It's not?
They've been favored, I think, 2 other times.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. But this year was the first year that they had been favored in like 7 seasons. So
the Lions are going to win the North next season. They're going to win the North.
Stop it. Anyways, Vikings side of the ball, I'm okay and comfortable with starting Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, also known as JJ, and TJ Hawkinson.
Yep. And maybe Adam Thielen with 52-point over-under.
About to say, yeah, you could probably flex Thielen. He's more of a DFS, cheap wide receiver DFS play to kind of fill out your roster. Lions side of the ball.
Ooh. I think that Jameson Williams comes back this week.
He was back last week.
I think he actually is back this week.
Like full go? I don't think so.
I think they're going to actually use him this week. Look, if the Packers are in the hunt, how are the Lions not? The same record.
They're in the hunt.
Yeah, they got to be in the hunt. Why not make a push?
And they beat us in the head-to-head.
Tough.
Yeah, you remember when we lost to the Lions?
Amon-Ra, absolute smash this week. Smash.
Yes. Smash.
DJ Chark, what do you think? In a pinch.
Probably, yeah.
In a pinch. DeAndre Swift, obviously, started in your lineup. Jay Willie, wouldn't be mad if you put him in. I think he's a flex now, but he's still a good flex. Jared Goff.
Yep.
Jared Goff, I think, for me, would be the quarterback start of the week for me if I had to put one on there. I don't think Joe Burrow is a little too low-hanging fruit. I would go probably Jared Goff. We're going to talk about the start of the weeks on Friday or Saturday, I guess, for you guys, but I like that start.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I really do like that start. Up next, right? Or sorry, I have the Lions winning this game.
I have Detroit winning this game too. Look at you. We're on the same page.
I'm switching to Minnesota.
Yeah, way to switch up. Yeah, might have switch up. Yeah.
Switching to Minnesota.
The next game we got is the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Football Giants. We have 45.5 point over under, and the Eagles are projected to win by 7 points. They are 7-point favorites. Aaron.
Yes.
On Philadelphia side of the ball.
Jalen Hurts, never take him out of your lineup. AJ Brown, never take him out of your lineup. I called it last week. Devonta Smith went off along with AJ Brown because all they did was throw the ball. I'm playing Devonta Smith as well. I'm tempering expectations for Miles Sanders because the Giants do actually have a formidable rush defense, but you can play him in a pinch if you need to play him 6 teams on bye, knocks out at least 15 other running backs that you have to worry about. So Miles Sanders this week is a start to me as well.
Yeah, I think he has to be started this week, especially with how lineups are going to look with all these. Why put 6 teams on bye?
When we only had 2 on bye last week?
Why? Who
and
decided?
None on bye the week before that?
Told you, the NFL hates fantasy football. For the Giants side of the ball, Aaron, who do you got?
Saquads.
That's it?
Yeah, because I'm not playing Darius Slayton because he's probably going to get Darius Slay.
Okay. Do you think that you could?
That guy is good.
With a 45.5 point over under, do you think that you could start? I'm losing. I forgot.
Daniel Jones.
Thank you. You think you could start Daniel Jones?
He might be a streaming candidate this week just because he does have that rushing floor. Yeah, low end streaming candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what 45.5 puts them at 22.75. Give them 3.5 that way. It's like 18 points for the Giants and 25 points for the Eagles. Roughly.
Yeah.
Quick math around there.
And this is a rivalry game, and weird things happen. I don't think over-unders matter, or I'm sorry, spreads matter that much in rivalry games because they just go crazy. So I don't mind starting Daniel Dimes.
No, it won't be bad. I do have the Eagles winning this game though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think it's going to be closer than 7 points. I think it's going to be a little closer than that.
I would agree. So let's hit this last game. No, actually, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll wait for the next game to talk with Rube. He should be on Friday with that one.
Okay.
Cool. So we will pick up on the Saturday show for all of the listeners and viewers with the Ravens at the Steelers.
Mhm.
But yeah, other than that, Ray, you got anything else?
No, sir. Just thank you guys for sticking around. If you've listened this long, then just let us know what you want us to talk about in the next episode, please, in the comments below.
Please. And as always, guys, please be sure to go to driftlessjerky.com and use code franchise tagged for 10% off of your order. Join the Discord. It's a cool place where you can connect with us. AMAs, start sit questions, last minute start sit questions, advice. In this situation for this trade, even though I know trade's over, but guess what? If you're playing a Keeper Dynasty, you get off-season trading. As always, be sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And please hit the thumbs up. It really helps the videos in the YouTube algorithm, helps us be discovered. Hit the notification bell so you know anytime that we go live, and smash that subscribe button. But until next time, guys, we will see you later.